Here's something worth sitting with. The people who have lost respect for you in most cases have never told you. They didn't make an announcement. They didn't have a conversation. They just gradually, quietly started treating your presence differently. Less weight given to your opinions, less enthusiasm when you walk into a room, a subtle shift in how much people lean on what you say. And because it happens gradually, most people never connect the behavioral causes to the social effects. They just feel the distance and wonder where it came from. So today, 7 specific behaviors that erode respect, not the obvious ones, the ones people never name. 1. Treating conversations like a closed exam. There's a specific kind of person who walks into every discussion already certain, who listens not to understand but to confirm what they already believe or to find the opening to correct someone else. The psychological irony here is sharp. The more convinced someone is of their own competence, the more their behavior signals the opposite to the people watching. Genuine expertise almost always comes with visible curiosity. Because people who actually know a lot are acutely aware of how much they don't. The person who has stopped asking questions has usually stopped growing. And the people around them notice that long before it becomes explicit. 2. Framing yourself as someone things happen to. How someone narrates their own life there is one of the most revealing things about them. When the consistent story is nothing works out for me. I never get the opportunities others get. The situation is always against me. It doesn't generate sympathy indefinitely. Over time, it generates distance. Not because people don't care, but because a person who positions themselves as permanently at the mercy of circumstances is communicating repeatedly that they've opted out of agency. Psychologists describe this as an external locus of control. The belief that outcomes are determined by forces outside yourself. It's not always conscious, but it's visible. And it quietly transfers the cost of carrying that narrative onto everyone in the vicinity. Ownership, even partial, even uncomfortable, is what makes people want to invest in you. 3. Using conversation to perform rather than connect. This one operates subtly enough that the person doing it usually doesn't recognize it. It shows up as the habit of redirecting conversations back to your own experiences, of offering advice that is actually a vehicle for demonstrating your own knowledge, of being more interested in how you come across than in what's actually being exchanged. People sense this quickly, even when they can't name it. The feeling of leaving a conversation with someone and realizing you were essentially an audience, that the interaction was a performance, and you were the props, creates a specific kind of disillusionment. Respect grows in exchanges where both people feel genuinely seen. It atrophies in exchanges where only one person does. 4. Draining the emotional temperature of every room. There's a meaningful difference between honesty and chronic negativity. And the two often get confused. Being honest about difficulty is legitimate. But when every topic, regardless of what it starts as, finds its way to complaint, to what's wrong, to why things won't work, the people around you begin to manage their energy around your presence. Research on emotional contagion is clear that mood states transfer between people. What's less discussed is the behavioral response this generates. People stop bringing certain topics to chronic complainers because they already know the response. The relationship narrows, the respect follows. 5. Making your approval available to everyone. This is the counterintuitive one and the one most people resist. The consistent instinct to agree, to accommodate, to avoid conflict at all costs, to say yes when you mean no. It doesn't produce the warmth it's reaching for. it produces a different outcome. People learn that your position is negotiable, that your yes doesn't mean much because it's always available, and that there's no meaningful resistance in the relationship. Trust and respect have a structural requirement. They need to know that when you say something, you mean it. That your no is real, that your boundaries actually hold. People who can't say no are often genuinely liked. They are rarely deeply respected. 6. Narrating your failures as someone else's fault. When things go wrong, and they do for everyone, how you account for it tells the people around you a great deal. The pattern of consistent external attribution. It was the circumstances, the timing, the people, the system. Communicate something specific. That you're not in a learning relationship with your own experience. That you're processing failure in a way designed to protect you from it, rather than integrate it. The people who earn lasting respect are rarely the ones who succeed most. They're the ones who are visibly honest about what went wrong and demonstrably willing to do something different next time. Accountability isn't weakness. It's one of the rarer forms of social credibility. 7. Assuming visibility will take care of itself. This last one is for the people who work hard, stay quiet, and wait to be noticed. Humility is a genuine virtue. Invisibility is not the same thing. If your standards, your work, and your character are consistently kept private out of fear of being judged for claiming them, you're not being humble. You're making yourself easy to overlook. Respect isn't awarded retroactively to people who suffered quietly. It's built through visible, consistent behavior, speaking clearly, holding your position when it's challenged, letting people see the standard you actually hold yourself to. You don't demand respect. You demonstrate what you're willing to accept and what you're not. And that demonstration over time is what makes people adjust how they treat you. None of these are about status. None of them are about how you look or what you have. They're all about what you consistently signal through behavior. And behavior, unlike circumstance, is entirely within your control. The question isn't whether people respect you. It's whether you're giving them something to.